Speak Easy, your safe space to practice English. Introduction. Imagine you are in a busy cafe in a city where people speak English. You want to order your favorite coffee, but when you open your mouth, the words feel stuck. Your thoughts are like a messy ball of string. Does this ever happen to you? Or maybe your stomach feels tight when you know you have to speak English. You worry you might say something wrong or that people won't understand you. You are not the only one. Many people learning English feel this way. Learning a new language is a fun adventure, but speaking it can sometimes feel like climbing a very tall, scary mountain. You want to talk to people, share your ideas, and connect with others. But the fear of speaking can stop you like a locked door. This book will help you open that door. We know there is a good way to become more sure of yourself and better at speaking English. It is not just about learning word lists or grammar rules. It is about doing, and not just any doing, but doing that feels real and helps you get better little by little. We will practice English by pretending to do the things you will really do every day. Think about ordering food at a restaurant, asking for directions when you are lost, or making a quick phone call to set up a time to meet. These are all common situations, and we will practice them together. But the most important part of how we will practice is where and how. We call this a safe practice place. What does that mean? It means this book is a place where you can try speaking English without any fear. Here, making mistakes is not bad. Mistakes are actually good. They show you where you can learn and get better. Think of it like learning to ride a bike. You might wobble, you might even fall a little, but you get back up and try again. In our safe place, no one will judge you. You can stop, think, and try a different word. It is a place where you can try new things and learn without real-world pressure. This safe place is very important because it helps you in a few main ways. First, it makes you feel less worried. The more you practice speaking English in a way that feels easy and without worry, the less scary it becomes. You start to feel more calm. Second, it helps you feel more sure of yourself. Every time you practice a conversation, even a short one, you start to believe in yourself more. You think, yes, I can do this. And third, it helps you learn how to actually use English in real talks. You are not just learning words, you are learning how to put them together smoothly to share your thoughts. In Speak Easy, you will find many of these real-life situations. We will guide you through them, giving you the words and phrases you might need and giving you many chances to speak. You will practice listening and answering, all in our helpful space. When you finish this book, you will feel much more comfortable and ready to speak English in your everyday life. You will have a set of useful language tools and, most importantly, the bravery to use them. Are you ready to find your voice and speak English with more confidence? Let's start this journey together in a place where your English can truly grow. Your voice is important. Let's make sure it is heard. 1. Practicing English with ease. Learning to speak English can feel like climbing a very tall mountain. You see the top, but the path looks steep and maybe a little scary. You might worry about slipping, or not being strong enough, or making a mistake and falling. This is okay. Many people feel this way when they learn a new language. The good news is, we can make that mountain path much easier and even fun. We can learn to practice English in a way that feels easy, natural, and most importantly, safe. Think about learning to ride a bike. Did you get on and ride perfectly right away? Probably not. You likely wiggled, maybe fell a few times, and someone helped you. They held the bike, cheered you on, and told you it was okay to make mistakes. That feeling, that help, that freedom to try and fail without real harm, that's what we call a safe practice space. It's a place where you can try out your English words and sentences without being afraid. This book is all about creating that space for you. And this part is about showing you how to use it, so practicing doesn't feel like hard work, but light. A helpful step toward your goal. We want practice to feel less like a test and more like a friendly talk with yourself, or with a kind friend. Making practice feel natural, not hard. Imagine you need to order a coffee in English. You know the words coffee, milk, sugar. But when you are in the real coffee shop, with a busy person serving and people waiting behind you, your mind might go blank. Your heart might beat faster. The words you know suddenly feel far away. Now, imagine practicing this before you go to the coffee shop. You can pretend the coffee shop is right here in your home. You can stand in front of a mirror or just close your eyes and picture the scene. You can pretend to be the customer. You can say, "Hello, can I have a coffee, please?" You can practice asking, "Do you have almond milk?" You can try saying, "One sugar, please." This is not just repeating words. This is acting out a real situation. When you practice ordering coffee, you are not just learning words, you are practicing the whole event. You are practicing saying hello nicely, asking your question, and saying thank you. This makes the real situation feel much more familiar. It's like practicing a play before the real show. You know your lines, you know where to stand, and you feel more ready. This makes practice feel useful for your life, not just like a boring homework task. It connects what you learn in a book to what you need to do in the world. We want practice to feel like a natural part of your learning, not a separate, difficult job. By using these real-life scenes, we use situations you will actually face. This makes learning more interesting and less like a dull school lesson. The power of practicing ahead. This idea of practicing beforehand is what we can call practicing ahead. It's like getting ready for a trip. If you are going on a long walk, you wouldn't just start walking without a map, water, or the right shoes. You would get ready. You would pack your bag, check the weather, and maybe even practice walking with your backpack on. Practicing English is the same. When you practice ahead for a talk, you are packing your mind with the words, phrases, and confidence you will need. It's like building a mental habit for speaking. The more you practice a specific event asking for directions, introducing yourself, or saying you have a problem, the more automatic those answers become. When you meet that situation in real life, your brain doesn't have to work as hard to find the words. It already knows. This makes the surprise less shocking. You have already imagined this path in your mind, so the real path feels much easier to walk. This is an important part of building real speaking skills. It's not just about knowing words, it's about being able to use them smoothly when you need them. Think about calling a restaurant to book a table. You might want to say, "Hello, I'd like to book a table for 2 people, please, for Saturday evening, around 7 p.m. If you have never said those words out loud in that order, it might feel a bit awkward when you call. But if you practice saying it a few times, "Hello, I'd like to book a table for 2 people, please, for Saturday evening, around 7 p.m., it becomes smoother. You might even practice saying it with a small pause, just like you would in a real call. This practicing ahead makes the real talk go much better. Mistakes as helpful steps, not things that stop you. Let's talk about the biggest fear for many language learners: making mistakes. We worry about saying the wrong word, using the wrong grammar, or sounding silly. This fear can stop us from speaking at all. But here's a secret: mistakes are not the enemy. In fact, they are your best teachers. In a safe practice space, mistakes are not reasons to feel ashamed. They are useful pieces of information. When you make a mistake, it's like the language is giving you a little signal saying, "Hey, try it this way instead." For example, if you accidentally say "I am interesting" when you mean "I am interested," and you are practicing with a friend or using a language tool that gives feedback, they might kindly correct you. Or, if you are practicing alone, you might notice yourself and think, "Wait, is that right?" This moment of noticing the mistake is where real learning happens. These moments are chances to learn and get better. They help you understand the small differences in the language. Imagine you are building with blocks. If a piece doesn't fit, you don't throw the whole project away. You simply take out the piece and try another one. Mistakes in speaking are just like those blocks. They show you what doesn't work so you can find what does work. Changing how you see this is very important for building confidence. When you stop seeing mistakes as failures and start seeing them as chances to learn, the pressure goes away. You become more willing to try new things, to experiment with different words and sentence shapes. This trying is how you truly learn and grow. The safe practice space is made for this. It's a place where you can try, fail, learn, and try again, all without the worry of real-world results. It's a place where your progress is cheered, not your perfection. Building energy through small successes. Think about starting any new activity. If you try to run a very long race on your first day, you will probably be tired and feel like giving up. But if you start with short walks, slowly walking longer distances, you build up your strength and ability. Each walk, even a short one, is a small success. It shows you that you can do it, and it makes you want to keep going. Practicing English is the same. Every time you successfully handle a pretend talk, even a very simple one, it's a small success. When you manage to order that coffee, or ask for directions, or even just say hello, how are you, and get a reply, you have achieved something. These small successes add up. They create a good cycle. This cycle works like this. You practice a little. You succeed a little. You feel a little more sure of yourself. Because you feel more sure, you are more willing to practice again. You practice a little more. You succeed a little more. Your confidence grows even bigger. This energy is very strong. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill, getting bigger and faster. These small successes are the building blocks of your confidence. They are real proof that you can speak English. The safe practice space is perfect for creating these successes. Because there is little to lose and the focus is on practice, you are much more likely to have good experiences. Each successful practice time is a step up that mountain, making the next step feel a little less hard. The ease feeling. What it looks and feels like. So, what does it actually look and feel like to be practicing English with ease? It's not about speaking perfectly without any accent or knowing every single word. It's about a feeling of comfort and smooth flow. When you are practicing with ease, you feel more relaxed. Your shoulders might be low, your breathing might be calm. You are not getting tense, waiting for a mistake to happen. You can focus on sharing your message. Your speaking might be smoother. The words come out more easily, even if there are still some pauses or small errors. It's the difference between speaking slowly and in short pieces, and speaking with a more natural rhythm. You are not struggling to remember words. They are coming to you more easily. You are less worried about yourself. Instead of constantly thinking, "Am I saying this right? Do they understand me? Am I embarrassing myself?" You are more focused on the talk itself. You are listening to the other person, even if it's just your imagination in a practice session, and thinking about what you want to say next. It feels like a bridge is being built. You are moving from just understanding English listening and reading to actively using it speaking and writing. And this bridge is built with practice, in a safe place. The ease comes from knowing you have the tools, the practice, and the permission to make mistakes. It comes from the growing feeling that you can do this. By using these simple, but strong ways to practice, you will find that speaking English doesn't have to be a source of stress. In fact, it can become a rewarding journey. Now that we have looked at how to make practice feel easier, let's look at the specific tools and methods that will help you build your own personal safe space for this practice. 2. Building confidence in speaking. Learning to speak a new language can feel like standing at the edge of a big, busy stage. You want to say your lines, but your knees are shaking and your voice feels stuck. That feeling is called speaking fear, and it's very common. It's the worry that you'll make mistakes, that people won't understand you, or that you'll just sound silly. This worry can stop you from even trying, and that's the biggest problem to learning. But what if you could practice on that stage in front of people without any real risk? What if you could try out your lines, stumble a little, and get back up, all while knowing it's okay? That's exactly what our safe practice place is for. It's your personal rehearsal spot, where every try is a step forward, not a fall. Let's think about why this safe space is so good for building courage. Imagine you're learning to ride a bike. You don't just jump on a road with cars going fast, do you? You start on a grassy field or with someone holding the back of the seat. You wobble, you might even fall, but you get up. Each small success, staying balanced for a moment longer, pedaling a few more feet, makes you feel a bit braver. You learn that falling isn't the end, it's just part of learning to ride. Speaking English is just like that. When you practice in our safe place, you're on that grassy field. You can try out new words, different ways of making sentences, and new ways of saying things. If you mix up a word or get the grammar a bit wrong, it's like wobbling on the bike. It's not a big problem. It's a signal that says, okay, let's try that again a different way. This understanding that mistakes are normal, even helpful, is the first big step to feeling brave. Instead of thinking, oh no, I made a mistake, I'm bad at English, you can start thinking, that's interesting. How can I say that better next time? This change in thinking is huge. It takes the focus off being perfect and puts it onto getting better, which is a much more encouraging and possible goal. Think about a time you were really nervous to do something. Maybe it was a job interview, a talk, or even just meeting new people. What usually happens is your mind races with all the bad things that could happen. What if I forget my words? What if they laugh? What if I can't answer their questions? This is the fear of what others think talking. It's the idea that others are watching you, waiting for you to mess up. In the real world, this fear can be very strong. People might not laugh, but a confused look or a polite correction can feel like they are judging you. This fear makes your heart beat faster, your hands sweat, and your mind go blank. Our safe practice place is made to remove that fear. When you're practicing ordering coffee with me, your practice partner, you know I'm here to help you learn. I won't judge you. My only goal is for you to feel more comfortable and able. This means you can try saying I want a coffee or can I have a coffee, please? Without worrying about whether it's the perfect way to say it. You can even say coffee, please, if that's all you can manage at first. The important thing is that you are speaking. And each time you speak, even not perfectly, you are chipping away at that wall of fear. You're proving to yourself that you can speak, that you can talk to others, and that the sky doesn't fall when you make a small mistake. This repeated experience of speaking without bad things happening is like building a shield against your own fear. One of the best ways to build courage is through doing things over and over. Think about your favorite song. You probably know all the words and can sing along without even thinking. That's because you've heard it and sung it many, many times. The same is true for speaking English. The more you practice common sentences and everyday situations in our safe place, the more familiar they become. Let's say you're practicing ordering food. You might pretend to order a pizza, then a burger, then a salad. You'll practice asking about what's in the food, saying you're ready to order, and asking for the bill. Each time you do it, it gets a little easier. Words come out a little more smoothly. You start to guess what the server might say. This repeating creates a kind of muscle memory for your speaking. Your brain and your mouth start to remember the ways sentences are built and the words. When you then find yourself in a real restaurant, that situation won't feel completely new and scary. It will feel like something you've done before, even if it was just pretend. This feeling of knowing what to expect is a huge confidence builder. It's like knowing the way around a building before you walk into it. You feel more in control and less likely to get lost or feel overwhelmed. The safe practice place allows you to repeat these interactions until they feel normal, so that when you face them, in real life, they feel like second nature. Every time you successfully finish a practice situation, even a small one, it's like a little win. You might have just managed to ask for directions clearly, or you might have successfully explained what you want at a shop. These small wins are incredibly important. They are like tiny sparks that light up your confidence. When you experience success, your brain gets a little bit of a good feeling, like a reward. This positive feeling makes you feel good about yourself and encourages you to try again. It's like getting a sticker for doing a good job in school. You want to do more good jobs to get more stickers. In our safe space, these stickers are the feeling of accomplishment. You might have been nervous at the start of the pretend situation, but you finished it. You talked to someone. That feeling of "I did it" is a powerful reason to keep going. It tells your brain, "See? You are able. You can do this." The more you experience these small wins, the more your belief in yourself grows. You start to trust your ability to learn and to speak. This isn't just about learning English. It's about building a good feeling about yourself as a speaker. Every successful practice time is a brick laid in the foundation of your confidence. More than just practicing words and sentences, our safe place helps you see yourself succeeding. When you do a pretend situation, you're not just saying words, you're mentally practicing a future event. You're acting out the situation, imagining yourself walking into a cafe, smiling at the person serving drinks, and ordering your drink with confidence. You're seeing yourself being understood, getting the right order, and leaving with a smile. This mental practice is incredibly strong. It helps to create a good picture in your mind for what successful talking looks and feels like. When you then go into a real cafe, your brain already has a good memory, a good idea of how that conversation can go. It's like watching a movie of yourself being confident before you go out and be in that movie. This mental picture helps to quiet down those worried thoughts that expect failure. Instead of thinking "I'm going to mess up," you can remember the picture of yourself successfully ordering. This mental preparation can make a huge difference in how you feel and how you do in real-life situations. It's about training your mind to expect success, making that success more likely. Finally, let's think about speaking English like building a muscle. You wouldn't expect to lift heavy weights on your first day at the gym without any training, would you? Your muscles would be too weak and you'd likely get hurt. Learning to speak a new language is similar. Your speaking muscles, your voice box, your tongue, your mouth, and your brain's language parts need to be trained. The safe practice place is your gym. In this gym, you can do many repetitions of common sentences. You can practice the sounds of English, the rhythm of sentences, and the speed of talking. Each practice time is like a workout. You're making your ability to form words stronger, to connect them together smoothly, and to remember them quickly. When you practice, often in a safe space, these speaking muscles get stronger. They become more flexible and quick to react. This means that when you need to speak in a real-life situation, your muscles are ready. They don't feel stiff and unused. They feel practiced and able. This physical and mental readiness is a huge part of speaking confidence. It's not just about knowing the words. It's about having the ability to say them easily and naturally. The more you exercise your speaking skills in a place that supports you, the more fluent and confident you will become, turning those first wobbles into smooth, sure talking. The journey from feeling shy and unsure to feeling brave and ready to speak is a process. It's not about flipping a switch, it's about building step by step. And the most sure way to build that courage is by practicing in a space where you feel safe to try, to fail, and to learn. Our safe practice place is that space. It's where mistakes become lessons. Doing things over and over creates ease. Success gives you energy. Imagining helps your mind. Get ready, and practice makes your speaking muscles stronger. Each of these parts works together to change your fear into certainty. You learn that speaking English isn't an impossible mountain to climb, but a series of steps you can manage, and you have the power to take each one. Once you start building this inner courage, you'll find yourself more willing to step outside of what you're used to. The next step is to give yourself the practical tools and ways that will make these real-world interactions even smoother, turning your new courage into real talking success. 3. Creating a safe practice space. Imagine you were learning to ride a bike. You would not start by racing on a busy road, would you? You would find a quiet place, maybe with soft grass, and have someone help you. You might wobble, you might fall, but you know you will not get hurt badly. You can try many times. This is like a safe place for learning English. It is your quiet park, your friend who helps. What does safe mean when we practice English? It means a place where you can speak without feeling scared inside. You do not worry about what others think. It is a place where making a mistake is not a big problem. It is like a little hint telling you, try this way next time. Think of it as a playground for your words. You can try new sentences, new words, or even a new way of speaking. If it does not sound right, it is okay. You can laugh and try again. It is a place to try new things and play with the language, like a child plays with blocks, learning what fits. Now, think about the opposite. What happens when you do not have this safe place? You might be in a place where you must speak English, like in a shop, or with a teacher who is very strict, or with friends who always point out your mistakes. Suddenly, your heart beats fast. Your hands might get a little wet. You might forget simple words you knew just a moment ago. Your body is saying, danger. This is normal, but it is bad for learning. This fear of saying the wrong thing, of sounding silly, or of not being understood, stops you from speaking. It makes you quiet, even when you have important things to say. This is often called stage fright. It is like being on a stage, even when you just want to talk normally. The need to be perfect makes it harder to speak clearly. This is where our safe practice place helps, and it works like magic to break down that fear. When you are in a safe place, the feeling of danger goes away. Your brain can relax. Instead of worrying about others judging you, you can focus on what you want to say and how to say it. This calm is important. It helps you think clearly and remember the words and sentences you have learned. Most importantly, a safe place helps you try new things. You might try a new, slightly harder word, or a longer sentence. These tries help you grow. Every time you try something new in a safe place and it works, even a little, your confidence grows. It is like adding a brick to your confidence wall, making it stronger. These small wins in your safe place are steps that get you ready for real talks. They show you that you can speak English, and that mistakes are part of learning. So, how do you create this magical safe place for yourself? It starts with being kind to yourself. This is called self-kindness. When you make a mistake, instead of thinking, oh no, I am bad at English, try thinking, okay, that did not come out right. I will try this way next time. It is about treating yourself like you would treat a good friend who is learning something new. You would not shout at them, would you? you would help them. Do the same for yourself. Another big part is changing how you think about mistakes. Many learners see mistakes as signs of not doing well. But in a safe practice place, we need to see them as helpful information. Every mistake is a chance to learn. When you say I go to the shop yesterday instead of I went to the shop yesterday, the mistake shows you that you need to practice past tense words. It does not mean you are bad at English. It means you are learning. Think of it like a detective finding clues. Each mistake is a clue that helps you understand English better. You can also create safe places by choosing the right people or places to practice with. Practicing with a friend who is also learning English can be good. You can both make mistakes and learn together, knowing you are in the same situation. Or, find someone to talk to who knows you are learning and is patient. Sometimes, the safest place is just talking to yourself. Yes, really. Stand in front of a mirror and tell about your day or tell a story. You can stop, think, and fix yourself without any pressure. It might feel a little strange at first, but it is very good for speaking smoothly. And remember, this book is made to help you create your safe practice place. The examples we will look at later are like small playgrounds for your English. They are made so you can practice ordering food, asking for directions, or making a phone call, all in this book. You can read the talks, practice saying the words out loud, and even imagine yourself in those situations. This book is your quiet park, your steady friend, helping you get ready for the real road. Let's really think about that idea of fear and how a safe place helps. Why does the fear of being judged stop us so much? Well, when you are learning a new language, your brain is working very hard. It is trying to remember new words, new grammar rules, and new sounds. It is like having too many pages open on a computer. If, at that moment, you are worried about saying something wrong and being laughed at, your brain gets even more stressed. It can stop some of the important work needed for speaking. This is why you might freeze. It is not that you do not know the words. It is that the fear is stopping you from getting to them. It is like trying to find a book in a library when the fire alarm is ringing. A safe place takes away that alarm. When you know you will not be judged, your brain can finally calm down. It can use all its energy to find the right words and put them together. You will see a big difference. In a place that is not safe, you might feel tense, your voice might be quiet, and you might speak too fast. In a safe place, you will feel more relaxed, your voice will be clearer, and you can speak at a normal speed. This calm feeling is not just nice. It is good for your mind. When you are relaxed, you can think better, remember more, and talk better. It is like trying to solve a puzzle in a noisy, messy room versus a quiet, bright room. This also helps with something called interference. That is when your own language gets in the way of your English. For example, you might use the word order from your own language. In a place that is not safe, you might be afraid to even try a different word order. But in a safe place, you can try. You can say, I like very much pizza, and then realize, oh, in English, it is usually I like pizza very much. This realization comes from trying and getting gentle help or from fixing yourself, not from fear. The safe place lets you make these small changes without feeling sad. Think about how your body feels too. In a situation that is not safe, you might feel your heart beating fast, your breathing becomes short, and maybe your voice shakes a little. These are all signs of stress. Practicing in a safe place helps to make these body feelings better. You will start to feel more comfortable and steady. Your voice will become more stable, and you will feel more in control of your speaking. This comfort in your body is a big part of building confidence. When your body feels safe, your mind feels safe too. So, to say it again, a safe practice place is where mistakes are okay, where no one judges you, and where you can try new things without fear. It is the opposite of a scary, high-pressure situation. This safe place fights the fear and worry that stop many people from speaking. It does this by calming your brain, letting you focus, and helping you try the things needed for learning. You can build this space by being kind to yourself, by changing how you see mistakes, and by choosing people or places to practice with that are helpful, like talking to yourself or using this book. The more you practice in your safe place, the more confident you will become, and the easier it will be to speak English in real life. Once you understand how important a safe practice place is, the next step is to look at the kinds of real-life situations that will best help you build your confidence. In the next part, we will look at how to find and get ready for these common situations, turning everyday talks into good chances to learn. 4. Reducing anxiety in communication. It feels common, doesn't it? That little jump in your tummy, your heart beating fast, maybe your mouth gets dry when you think about speaking English. It's like a big, hidden wall appears. You know the words, you get what people say, but sharing your own thoughts in English feels scary. This worry, this nervousness, is likely the main reason many people don't speak much. Let's look at why this happens. Usually, it's about one main thing: fearing others will judge you. We worry about making a mistake. Maybe we pick the wrong word, or our voice sounds funny. We think people are watching us, thinking, oh, they don't speak English well. Or we fear they won't understand us, and that would be embarrassing. This fear of judgment can be so strong it stops us before we even begin. It's like standing on a stage, but everyone watching has judging eyes, and you've forgotten what to say. Your mind goes empty and you just stop. This feeling can make learning English seem like a hard, lonely fight. It's not about not knowing the language. It's about the worry that stops you from showing what you do know. Think about it. When you learn anything new, especially something as personal as speaking, mistakes are a normal part of learning. Imagine learning to ride a bike. You might sway, you might fall, you might hurt your knee. But do you stop trying because you fell once? You get up, maybe a little smarter, and try again. When learning to speak English, mistakes are like those hurt knees. They don't mean you're bad at it. They actually show you were trying. They are little signs telling you what to change, what to practice more. The problem is, in real life, making a mistake in English can feel like a big deal. We worry it will cause confusion, or people will be annoyed. So, instead of seeing a mistake as helpful information, we see it as failing. This makes us afraid to make any mistakes at all. And if you are afraid to make mistakes, you are afraid to speak. It's a circle that keeps you stuck. But what if there was a place where making mistakes was not just okay, but actually wanted? A place where you could try new words, new sentences, new ways of saying things, and know that if you messed up, it wouldn't matter? This is exactly where the idea of a safe practice environment comes in. It's a special kind of space, either in your mind or in a situation we set up, where there is no pressure. You can try things out, you can be a little clumsy with the language, and the only thing that happens is you learn. This is where practicing many times becomes your best friend. When you practice a phrase or sentence over and over in a safe place, your brain and your mouth start to remember it. It's like training a muscle. The more you do it, the simpler and more natural it becomes. When you have practiced ordering coffee 10 times in a safe setting, saying, "Can I have a coffee, please?" in a real cafe becomes much less scary. You have already done it. Your brain knows the path. This makes things less stressful because you are not trying to figure out the words, the sounds, and the grammar all at once in a difficult moment. You have already built that comfort. And with every time you do it right, even if it wasn't perfect, you get a little bit of confidence. Think of it like collecting little stars. You practice saying hello and you get a star. You practice asking for directions and you get another star. You practice saying your name and where you are from and another star. Each time you manage to get your message across, even with a small mistake, that's a success. These small successes add up. They start to quiet down that worried voice in your head. You begin to think, hey, I did that. I can do it again. This growing confidence is like a shield against the fear. The safe practice environment is the perfect tool for building this confidence. It's like a practice room for real conversations. You can try different situations, ordering food, asking for help, talking about your day, without any real problems. If you say something wrong, you just try again. No one will get angry, no one will laugh. You can stop, think, and fix yourself. This freedom to try things out without fear is what slowly breaks down that worry. It's the answer to the fear of judgment problem. Let's think about what happens in your body when you feel worried. Your heart beats faster. You might shake. Your mind can feel unclear, like trying to think through thick fog. This is your body getting ready for danger, but when you try to speak English, there is no real danger. The safe practice environment helps to calm this body reaction. By practicing in a relaxed way, you teach your body that speaking English is not a danger. It is a normal, even a fun thing to do. So, when you need to speak in a real situation, your body is more likely to be calm. Your mind is clearer. You can find the words you need more easily. Imagine a learner named Maria. Maria wanted to work in a coffee shop in a country where people speak English. She understood English perfectly when she read or listened, but when customers spoke to her, her mind would stop working. She was very afraid of making a mistake and losing the chance to get a job. She imagined a long line of people waiting while she struggled with her words. This fear was so strong that she almost gave up on her dream. Then, Maria started using the safe practice environment idea. She would imagine herself behind the counter. In her mind, she would hear a customer say, "Can I have a latte, please?" She would practice saying, "Sure," coming right up. She imagined a customer asking, "What kind of pastries do you have?" And she'd practice listing them. "We have croissants, muffins, and cookies." She did this every day. She'd pretend to give change. She'd practice saying, "Have a nice day." She made mistakes during her practice. Sometimes she'd forget a word for a pastry, or she'd say the price too fast. But in her safe space, she'd just pause, think, and try again. Yes, a croissant, she'd say to herself. After a few weeks of this mental practice, Maria felt a real change. The thought of the coffee shop started to feel less like a scary test and more like a normal activity. When she finally went for her interview, and the person interviewing her asked her questions, she didn't freeze. She remembered her practice. She said, "Yes, I can do this," and explained her skills. During her first week at work, when a customer ordered, she still felt a little nervous, but it wasn't the stopping fear from before. She heard the order, and her practiced answer came out. "One latte," coming right up. She even managed to smile and say, "Have a nice day." Maria's story shows us that the safe practice environment isn't just a nice thought. It's a strong tool that changes how we feel and how we perform. By making mistakes a normal, expected part of practice, we take away their power to frighten us. We learn to see them as helpful guides, not as failures. This repeated practice in a setting with little risk builds comfort and confidence, making real conversations feel much easier. It's like getting ready for a play by practicing many times in an empty theater before the people arrive. The more you practice in that safe space, the more natural and less worried you become when it's time for the real show. This journey of reducing worry and building confidence is the first big step. It opens the door to truly using your English skills. And once that door is open, we can focus on making the practical tools you need to walk through it easily. Conclusion: you have finished Speak Easy. That is a great accomplishment. You have taken a big step to feel more comfortable and sure of yourself when you speak English. Remember, the main idea has always been that practicing English by pretending to do real things in a place where it is okay to make mistakes is the best way to get better and feel less worried. We have looked at how to handle everyday things, from ordering food to meeting new people, all by using our special safe practice way. The aim has been to help you get over that feeling of worry and build the confidence to actually use your English. The most important idea in everything we have done in this book is the safe practice place. This is your own space, whether it is just in your mind, with a friend, or using our exercises, where mistakes are not failures, but steps forward. It is a place where you can try new things, learn, and grow without being afraid. Why is this safe place so strong? Because when you are not worried about being judged or making a big mistake, your mind is free to focus on learning and talking. Fear actually stops us from learning and speaking. A safe place removes that stop. This is not just about practicing sentences. It is about building the habit of speaking. When you practice ordering coffee in a safe place, you are teaching your mouth and your mind to handle that exact situation when it happens for real. The more you practice safely, the more it becomes automatic and less scary when those real moments happen. Think of mistakes as your English teacher. Every time you trip over a word or use the wrong grammar, you are getting good information. In a safe place, you can learn from these mistakes without feeling sad. They show that you are trying and learning. Your safe practice place can be many things. It can be talking to yourself in the mirror, practicing with a kind friend, using apps to talk with others, or even just imagining yourself having a conversation. The main thing is that you feel comfortable and helped. The safe practice place is your secret help. It is the ground on which your confidence is built. It is why practicing situations in this book felt different, because we made a space where the only goal was you getting better, not being perfect. This idea is not just for the pages of this book. It is a rule you can take with you everywhere you go to practice English. You have built a strong start with Speak Easy. Now, the exciting part is to keep going on your trip. This book has given you the tools and the way to think, but the real magic happens when you keep practicing. So, how can you keep going? First, keep practicing situations. Go back to the things in this book or think of new ones. What other things do you find hard? Try to act them out, even if it is just for a few minutes each day. Next, find people to practice with. Look for partners to practice languages with online or in your town. Remember the safe practice idea. Find people who are also learning or who are kind and encouraging. Then use real-life chances. Do not hide from chances to speak English. Go to that event where people speak English, start a talk with a tourist, or order your coffee in English. You have practiced for this. Finally, listen and learn. Keep listening to English through movies, podcasts, and music. Pay attention to how people who speak English as their first language say things. With constant practice, you will see your speaking get better, your words grow, and your confidence rise. You will start to feel more natural and less worried in talks. Remember, the goal is getting better, not being perfect. Every talk, every practice time is a step ahead. Be happy with your wins, no matter how small. As you move forward, always remember the power of the safe practice place. Look for chances to practice where you feel comfortable and helped. If a situation feels too scary, break it down. Practice a small part of it in a safe place first. This rule will guide you as you keep growing your English speaking skills. You can become a confident English speaker. You have already shown it by working through this book and accepting the idea of safe practice. Your voice is important, and your ability to talk in English will open new doors and chances for you. So, what are you waiting for? Take what you have learned, find your safe place, and start speaking. Even just 5 minutes of practice today can make a difference. We are happy for your trip ahead. Speak easy, speak often, and speak with confidence. Always go back to the comfort of your safe practice place whenever you need to build your courage or try something new.